Well, good evening. Brother John Matthews here, pastor at First Baptist Church of Hazlehurst, and I have the joy of sharing some really exciting information with you tonight. This Sunday is going to present us with a new opportunity. Now, before we get there, I want us to kind of rewind for a second. This time last year, June of 2019, our church embarked on a journey that we called The Gathering. It was an adventure gathering around tables, sharing the Word together, sharing a meal together, sharing our lives together. Really digging deep into the Word, into one another's lives, and growing in the faith together. A reflection of Acts chapter 2. That movement really was an important moment in the life of our church. I think it really grew us. It challenged us. Our people responded very well to it. And we were blessed over this last year being a part of that. Well, now, June of 2020 holds something slightly different, but we're going to call it the regathering. Because you see, for the last 3 months, we've worshiped together, but it's been separately. We've worshiped together behind computer screens and smartphones, over the radio, but we haven't been able to gather in person for worship. Well, that's going to change this Sunday. We have a new opportunity to gather in person for worship. Now, it's going to be different. It's going to be challenging because it's something we've never done before in this way. We're going to have to use some new precautions that we never have before. We're going to have to practice social distancing in a sanctuary where we've never practiced social distancing before. It's going to look and it's going to feel quite different, and I'm going to need everybody to work together to see that this runs smoothly and the best way to take care of our people. In the next few moments, I want to share how that's going to unfold. And as we share that together, you be thinking about how you can join with us in this journey. Maybe not this Sunday, maybe a few weeks from now or months from now as you are comfortable. And I want you to listen to how it is that we as First Baptist Church of Hazlehurst plan to regather together. Are you ready? I am. So let's go. One of the first things you'll notice on Sunday is now we have two services. We have a 9 o'clock and a 10:30 worship service. The 9 o'clock is reserved for our most vulnerable persons, those MVPs. If you are 65 years of age or older, if you have underlying health concerns, if perhaps you have cardiovascular or respiratory issues, then this is the service for you. Being the first service, it allows us to take added precautions for your benefit. The service is going to be approximately 45 to 50 minutes long, and then after you're dismissed, it'll give us opportunity to sanitize the sanctuary and get it ready for the next worship experience. That second service at 10:30 is for others. We will still have proper social distancing. It will be the regular service that is streamed online that you watch right now every week. If you're joining us for our 9 o'clock worship service, these are the doors you're going to want to come to. Located under the portico found on Frost Street, there'll be a welcome team member at the door to let you in, point you in the right direction. Also inside those doors will be hand sanitizer and masks should you have left home without that, and they'll point you to the worship service where you'll be escorted in. For this 9 o'clock worship service, these are the doors that you'll enter. It's on the piano side, and our ushers will escort you to your seat. You will probably not sit in the seat you normally sit in, but utilizing the 6-foot social distancing policy, we'll use every other pew spaced out accordingly. The ushers will seat you from the back, which is on Caldwell Drive, toward the front, which is nearest to the stage. When time comes to dismiss that service, we'll exit from the organ side, and we'll dismiss in opposite order from the front pews to the back. In order to keep the sanctuary as clean as we possibly can and to ease in the disinfecting between each service, we've removed the pew cushions, Bibles, hymnals, envelopes, all those things from the pews that might be a good hiding place for germs. Those things have been removed. So if you need a cushion, then we encourage you to bring one with you. Please bring your own Bible and pen and notebook if you want to take notes. This will certainly ease the transition between those services and help us as we clean. If you're going to join us for our 10:30 worship service, these are the doors that you're going to want to come to. It's the doors located on Caldwell Drive. Now you're going to enter into the doors on the left-hand side. You'll exit the doors on the right-hand side. We'll exercise the 6 feet social distancing both inside and as we're being seated. As you enter, you'll find the doors open. There'll be a place where you can pick up a mask should you have walked off without one. And our usher will seat you from the front to the back. Now, you probably won't sit where you normally do. We'll be utilizing every other pew, and we'll be spaced out in order to maintain 6 feet social distancing. And so as we are seated from the front, which is closest to the pulpit, to the back, when time comes to be dismissed, we will dismiss in opposite order. We'll be dismissed from the back of the sanctuary to the front. Now there are some ways that you can help us out as we begin this process of regathering. And the main way that you can help is by being responsible. I'm going to ask you to do something that you don't normally do before you come to church on Sunday mornings, and that's take your temperature. And in these days, if you have a fever of greater than 100.0 degrees Fahrenheit, you need to worship with us online. Don't come to the church. Worship with us online from the comfort of your home until you're feeling better and you don't have that fever. I'm also going to need you to answer no to some really important questions that you may not have thought of up to this point, but are necessary in these days. Have I been in contact with somebody with a confirmed case of COVID-19 in the last 14 days? Am I experiencing a shortness of breath, a cough, a sore throat? In the last 48 hours, have I had a fever? Have I developed a new loss of sense of smell or taste? Have I experienced vomiting or diarrhea in the last 24 hours? And if you've answered yes to any of those, then you need to join us online and worship with us from home. And then maybe be able to join us the next week. Now, I want to say that if you're in that vulnerable category, or if you answered yes to any of these questions, it's okay to join us from home. We're still going to be streaming online. It's still going to be live every week. And so you're welcome to join us there. It's not a test of spirituality whether or not you come back to church right now. We want to be safe. We want to be responsible. We want to take care of our people. While you're here at the church, I'm also going to ask that you practice good social distancing, which means 6 feet between family groups. And by family groups, I mean people who live in your household. So from the time you exit your car to you enter into the building, to you go sit down, or you're seated, or by the time you leave, I need us to maintain 6 feet of distancing. You'll notice in our sanctuary that we're only using every other pew, and that there's a limited number of seats on every pew to help us maintain that social distancing. So there'll be some notices around, there'll be some markers on the floor, but help us in that by remaining socially distanced. And also, I need you to wear a mask if you're inside. The City of Hazlehurst has asked us that if we worship together in person, that every congregant wear a mask for the entirety of the time. So that means before you enter into the building, all throughout your worship experience, till the time you leave our building, you need to be wearing a mask. And I know that's unusual, and that may be a little uncomfortable, but it's necessary in these days. So please help us in that way. Now, there'll be some ways where we are challenged to serve and to share, and I'm excited about the new opportunities this presents for us. I am so thankful that we can do this, and we can do this working together. It's going to be good to gather together again, and I look forward to seeing you when you're able to come back. May God bless you, and I look forward to seeing some of you in person on Sunday, and others of you as we worship together online.